Right, everyone, welcome. This is the Grey Hat Cybersecurity Club. It's March 12th today, and we are at a general meeting. For how many of you guys is this your first time coming to a Grey Hat meeting? All right, a good handful of you. Right, so if this is your first time here, welcome. I accidentally skipped the one slide that I needed. Excellent. We are the Grey Hat Cybersecurity Club. We are like GT's largest cybersecurity student organization. On Tuesdays, we usually have our CTF meetings. So those are usually like where we're going to talk about technical security, go into hands-on practical demos. We have our own internal CTF challenge platform where we will have you guys work through challenges and we'll come around and mentor people. Overall, pretty awesome. This semester, we're doing a mix of web, MISC, and RevPwn. Nash is our two CTF captains are Nash and Sean. Nash is web and MISC mostly, and Sean does RevPwn. They alternate weeks. Next week will be Sean's meeting. On Thursdays, like this meeting, we have our general meetings where we'll generally just talk about anything that's relevant security related. In the past, we've brought in sponsors to give guest talks. We've also had like speakers. Today, we're having one of our students actually give a guest talk. I'm sure you guys have seen the announcement. If we have time left over after that, I'll go ahead and fill in and give a little talk on side channels. Okay. Do any of you guys still need the attendance or any of these socials? Just going to blast through announcements otherwise. Okay. So if you haven't been here for the last couple of weeks, we have a couple of open roles. We have the LM CTF agent project. We just reopened applications for it. Deadline is this Friday. So if you're interested in joining our project for this semester, please go ahead, check it out, fill out the link, fill out the application, and we'll be in touch if we want to work with you. Also, we'll be hosting Rec CTF later this semester in a few months. If you're interested in contributing a challenge for that, feel free to DM Nash or myself. And I'm Sakep on the Discord. So yeah, right now we're especially looking for people who are interested in writing crypto, but any categories are welcome. One of our sponsors, Ninth Forensics, is also hiring right now. If you're interested in vulnerability research, they have 4 vulnerability research internships open. Anyone need this QR code, or do you guys already have it? See some cameras. Oh, wait 1 second. All right. Anyone else still need it? Okay, moving on. As we already mentioned, we meet Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Tuesdays are in Klaus. Thursdays are here. And this is a duplicate slide. Okay. Yeah, so last weekend, we played in Dice CTF. Overall, did pretty well, actually. It's a shame. We were like 1 position off from qualifying for the US division for Dice CTF finals in New York, which is a pity. But yeah, I mean, there was no academic division this year. So I'd say, given that we were completing the open US-Canada division, I think that we did pretty well as a team. We collabed with PBR from UCLA for the CTF, and that worked out pretty well. If you were competing in that CTF and you solved a challenge and would like to become a competition team member on our website and have your write-ups featured on our page, I'll leave this form up for you guys to go ahead and check that out. I'm assuming that most of you guys have probably already seen it, and this is redundant. All right, no cameras, so I'm going to move on. Okay, finally, really big thing. This Friday, Jerry Perillo, the professor who teaches the Enterprise Cybersecurity Management class, if you're at all aware of that, is going to be giving a talk on how to value job offers. So how many of you guys have ever received a job offer? It doesn't have to be like for anything tech related. How many of you guys have never had a job? Just out of curiosity. Okay, no, fair enough. Y'all are still pretty young. Okay. So if you ever go and look at full-time job offers, you might notice that you, like, depending on the size of the company you work for, especially if it's a tech company, you might have like a mix of different numbers that are on your job offer, ranging from your actual base salary, your bonus, some stock options, potentially even like you might have other fun numbers like RSUs, depending on if you're joining like an early stage startup or whatnot. And it's, I guess, like as a student, it might be very difficult to try and actually figure out what those numbers mean, how you should maybe price them or value them relative to the different offers you might be getting. So Jerry is awesome guy. Actually, when after he graduated college, joined a small company as like an IT manager. Eventually, as the company grew and he got promoted through the ranks, he ended up getting acquired by some larger company. You might know like the company he worked for is the New York Stock Exchange. Yeah, anyway, and he for a time was the chief information security officer, so C-suite level position at that company. He has a wide variety of different experiences ranging every level of the ladder, and he's currently also doing his own startup. It's adversarial risk management. It's like he'll tell you probably more about it, or you can look it up yourself. But he's got a wide breadth of experiences, and he has a lot of insight to share with you guys. He was actually hoping to host this as more of kind of an informal chat, so it won't be recorded or streamed anywhere. If you are interested in attending, you should really show up. I think it's also this room tomorrow, I believe at 4 p.m. So just show of hands, anyone need the RSVP code for that? Okay. Nash, do you mind getting that to him? I don't have the QR code on the slide.
Are you in the Discord? No.
You should join the Discord if you haven't already. We post all of our announcements and stuff over there.
The link to RSVP is in the Discord. It's like 2 messages up. If you join the Discord, just go to the announcement channel.
I'll leave this up again since I'm noticing some people still need the QR codes. All right. I think that's all my slides for this start of meeting. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off. Can you just say your name?
Yeah, sure.
To Darshan, yes. Yeah, I'll go ahead and stop sharing. Pass it off to you.
There we go. All right, Justin, can you hear me in the back? See one thumbs up. I'm gonna assume it's all of them. On Zoom, are we good or the fuck is this thing? Cool. And as soon as I find the boomer, what is this? There we go. And okay, just gonna share my screen. Share that. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna assume everyone can see that. Hi, my name is. Yeah, see it. Okay. Now. Okay. Oh, good enough. Sorry.
Operate.
Yep.
Next to the print.
Yeah. Gotcha. Thanks. Oh, it's awesome. Thanks. Anyway, this is the talk. We have Netflix at home. My name is Darshan. I'm a member of the club. It's about all of the intro you need. So in case you didn't really get the concept of the title or the joke or what have you, hopefully this clears things up a bit more. Yeah, that being said, let's get started. Just a quick disclaimer. I can show the quick disclaimer. All right. I do hide this. All right. There we go. I'm not an attorney, not your attorney. This isn't legal advice. You shouldn't follow it as such. I'm not responsible for anything you do with this information in any way, shape, or form. Basically, I can't be legally held accountable for what you choose to do. So yeah. Also, if you're not the target demographic, ignore the memes or don't. I don't really care. Anyway, being said, agenda. We're going to go over motivation, why I'd actually want to do this in the first place. Talk about hosting locally. So we'll go over everything you need from software, hardware, how to connect everything together, why you'd want to do it, and things of that nature. Talk about sourcing content. This is the funny one that, will he, won't he break the DMCA laws in a GreyHat's meeting? Distribution, how to actually get it off your local network and onto the outside internet. So if you're outside of your house or if you want to share it with friends or something, how can they take advantage of it as well? Talk about conclusion, just what you'll have when you follow all this to the letter. talk about some future references you can learn from, just other stuff that other people have gone over to expand systems similar to this. And then finally, the thanks for the people that wouldn't be possible without. So motivation. Why would you want to do this in the first place? Netflix is $8 a month. Disney Plus and Hulu bundle is $13 a month. Spotify is also $13 a month. Per month, that's $34 a month. Per year, that's $408. And over 4 years, that's nearly $1,600 you're paying. With all of that, you don't actually own your content. You just own a license to maybe access it at some point in time. It can be taken from you. You own nothing. You also have to keep paying money over time in order to keep renting access to it. It sucks. By contrast, a reliable VPN is $550 a month, and a 2 terabyte hard drive is a $71 purchase, which you pay for one time and then you use for the next 4 years or so. Media is free. I'll explain that. I know you're all probably excited for that. Over a year, it's going to be $137 for the first time you buy it because you're buying a hard drive for the first time. Afterwards, it's going to be $66 for just a VPN because you buy a hard drive one time and that's about it. And those prices are at time of writing, and I will explain the media thing going forward. But yeah. So I hear you asking, why not just use a pirate site? Because you have basically the same thing as Netflix, more or less. You have poor quality because when you're hosting your site in Eastern Europe to avoid DMCA laws, but you're watching it in America, bandwidth is expensive, and it's cheaper to just host a 1080p video than a 4K one. So they're going to downgrade their quality. Netflix has the same issues. Even if you pay money for it, they still might downgrade your quality one way or the other. You also have poor accessibility due to DMCA takedowns because pirate sites kind of pop up like mushrooms after rain. You take one down, another pops up, and then back and forth, back and forth. You're going to be hopping from source to source. Netflix, again, has the same issues because they work off of contracts instead of DMCA takedowns. When they lose access to the thing because the contract expires, that's it. You can't watch The Office or Brooklyn Nine-Nine, what have you. Same thing, essentially. You also have poor variety. So with both instances, you kind of get what you pay for or what you find, I guess. You don't have niche content. You don't have YouTube. You don't have Patreon. You don't have Nebula. You don't have Odyssey. You don't really get to pick what you have. It's more just you get what you get and you don't get upset, essentially. And Netflix, again, same thing. I'm really hammering home the point. Finally, the one that really stands out the most is you risk malware because pirate sites have to make their money one way or the other. They either show you ads that give you malware, or they give you malware and just mine crypto or steal information and sell that directly. There's always that risk one way or the other. And finally, piracy is illegal and for nerds. See below. Do not endorse piracy in the talk. That's anyway. Talk about hosting locally. So you'll need hardware for this, obviously. This is one such option you can pursue. But anyway, bare minimum specs for this, you'll need a quad-core CPU from at least, I'd say, the past decade or so. You can kind of play fast and loose with it. If you need more storage or whatever, you can always scale up. You'll need at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. DDR3 is OK. I know that the RAM shortage is hitting everyone badly in this time of need. So I won't be too mad if you need to skimp out a bit. Some sort of graphics, be it dedicated or integrated, just something that has a graphics card or just some form of graphics. Upgradability for storage. This is the important one because as time goes on, you might find yourself outgrowing your storage as time goes on. So 2 terabytes, then 4, then 8. Then before you know it, you're sinking a third of your paycheck into storage and hard drives. This is only going to get worse as the AI crisis goes on because Scam Altman and company are buying hardware and using it for data centers. And so it's becoming more and more out of reach for people. Finally, I cannot stress this enough. Please do not use your daily driver personal laptop for this because you'll run out of storage. You'll slow your stuff down. It'll be a pain for everyone involved. Get a separate machine to do this on. Getting a machine to use. So this is kind of the fun one. If you have some money to burn, you can do what I like to call the OpenAI special. You buy a used server off eBay. You rip out and resell most of the RAM. You leave like 16 or 32 gigs of RAM in there. You sell the rest on eBay. That price of RAM will pay for the server. So even if you spend $500 or like 1,000, with the way that the economy is going, the sooner or later you do this, the later you wait to sell, probably the better price you will get. And then you have a sort of infinite money glitch where you keep buying servers, taking the RAM out from them, reselling the RAM to recoup the cost of servers. And you can essentially build a DIY data center, or at least you get a server this way. So you can do this. You just need some starting capital first. So it's not really for everyone, but can't afford a new machine. Stock used marketplace. So I mentioned eBay, obviously, but you can also go to Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. Government auction sites are really great because governments and other big businesses will go through tech at least every 3 to 5 years because they have contracts with big. They have contracts with big manufacturers to do this. I don't really complain because it's useful and you get used business hardware is basically like better than consumer hardware. You can get access to things that you wouldn't be able to buy normally. Another one is you look for older office PCs because these things have everything you need: graphics, CPU, storage, RAM, whatever. It's a nice little starting point for you to start and grow from there. And finally, I can't afford any money. You're broke. You can only buy ramen. You have no money. Some of you know what's coming next. Some of you are probably going to find out. Candida Electronic Building. You go there. You go to the spot. You gamble essentially. Or in this case, if you have one guy that keeps sniping all the good stuff, just ask directly. You know where to find them. Anyway, for those of you who don't get the joke, the Candida has an electronics recycling program. There's a bin downstairs. You go there. You gamble on whether there's something good. Don't make a mess. Don't be a dick. That's the only rule. Let's talk software. We're going to use Debian for the base operating system. We're going to use Docker to manage the containers. We're going to use the R stack for aggregating our media in the first place. We're going to use Jellyfin for consuming our media, and we're going to use WireGuard for the VPN. So that's what it's going to look like locally. So you're going to use, well, I have Qubit torrent on there as one possible option for content. I'm going to talk about others. It should be noted that while I have Qubit torrent as a way for torrenting itself isn't illegal, so we're technically still covered. We're going to use WireGuard for the VPN just because I don't want to get any nasty grams for their ISP. We're going to use Prowler and Bazaar respectively for sourcing content. Prowler basically grabs your content from a link that you provide from it and then sends it into your download managers. Bazaar does the same thing, but it grabs subtitles or lyrics files for the content itself. So subtitles for music, for movies and TV shows, or lyrics files for music. LiDAR, radar, and sonar are for music, movies, and TV respectively. And then everything gets piped into Jellyfin, which in turn you can access through Homar. So that's a lower level overview. In the grand scheme of things, what you're going to end up with. Sorry. Your local infrastructure is going to be proxied out via a WireGuard tunnel to a cloud provider, VPS. That in turn, you're going to access it via, you're going to use Cloudflare to send it over to a domain name. That's going to let you access it over the network when you're over the internet, say outside of your network. It's not the best way. It's not the only way. It's my way. You can do as you wish, and you can tell me about it afterwards. I know that you can use Tailscale instead of Cloudflare. That might be applicable in some cases. By all means, go for it. Anyway, just a quick explanation of what everything does. We have the tongue twister from hell. LiDAR for music, radar for movies, sonar for TV shows, Bazaar for subtitles, Prowler for sources, Homar for nice UI, and Jellyfin for viewing. So as mentioned, LiDAR, radar, and sonar are basically for organizing stuff on your drive so that Jellyfin has an easier way of parsing everything. Bazaar and Prowler for sourcing things and subtitles respectively. Homar is just a way of accessing everything in one convenient location for configuration options. Again, this is just the diagram I had previously. This just shows how everything's going to be laid out more or less. Now, I'm not going to go over a setup because that isn't this kind of talk. You can watch the YouTube video. There's also a Docker Compose file you can quickly drop in and just use for everything. And it's going to be great. And yeah, the VPN. Stop me if you've heard this one. Your ISP is spying on you. They don't want you to share your movies and shows with everyone. So what do? Oh, do I have good news for you? This presentation is not sponsored by Malvat VPN. Get 10% off your purchase of a VPN when you use Monero at checkout. It's an actual policy they have, by the way, not just a joke I made up for the thing. On a more serious note, use them. They take cash and crypto, so you can literally send them an envelope with like $5, and you can pay for a VPN that way. They don't do KYC, which means you don't have to give them your email or like your name or whatever. You just generate an account number, and then you can provide cash to that, and it'll work out. And finally, they have consistent, affordable pricing, which is a rarity in this economy. It's just $5.50 a month or €5. So whatever the exchange rate is currently, I don't know. We're going to use it for downloading content only. Our services can break if they're put behind a VPN. That's just a general note. That's how everything fits in. Again, everything is proxied to the VPN. And then once it's on your local system, you manage it the way that I described. We're going to use the gluten Docker image for managing the VPN in Docker. Again, just watch the YouTube video, read the wiki article, put it into your Docker Compose file, just set it and forget it type of thing. I don't want to mess around too much with configuration, so Docker makes it very easy for this. Sourcing content, the fun one. Legal sources, first and foremost. The libraries, please use them. They get money because of funding. If you use them, they're awesome. The GT library, the Atlanta Public Library have a bunch of stuff like movies, TV shows. You can get books, I think, through the Libby app, I believe, if you don't feel like going through the other routes. Even beyond that, if you don't want to use the library for some reason, which, all right, sure. There's the Internet Archive, which has just about everything you need. Books, movies, TV shows, games, even source code for emulators, whatever you want, it's probably on there. And finally, any of you know about the public domain? Like public domain resources? Okay, one, two, no. Okay, just one. All right, so public domain basically means that a copyright on a piece of media has worn off at some point in time. This means that it's now available to the public. So you can't copyright it anymore. Anyone can use it for whatever they want, more or less, because the author has done and made their money off of it. This is great if you're into like more niche cinema, like what's a good one? I think like The Mummy or like Dracula, or various older movies like 1920s, 30s, 40s era. Yeah. And then finally, this one, if buying is and owning. I've got two stories for you. One is about my family, one's about me. I'm going to leave this up for a bit while I talk. So during COVID, any of you guys remember like when Peacock first came out around COVID? Yeah? Okay, cool. So you probably know what's coming next. During COVID, my family and I were shut away in our homes, bored, tired, scared, even sometimes just stressed, generally tired of everything. So we watched The Office. It was nice. I don't really care what your thoughts are on The Office. My family liked it. I was okay with it. Anyway, you probably know what's coming next. Peacock saw that, hey, people are really vibing with this one show. We should take it since, Paramount decided to create their own streaming service. They took The Office off of Netflix, put it onto Paramount. Peacock. And now you have to buy a new streaming service to watch the show that you want to watch. Netflix was designed to solve the issue with cable TV. And now, oh, yeah, you scanned the QR code.
No, I was taking a picture of the meme.
Ah, man. Well, anyway, don't worry. The QR code is safe for work. Whatever you think it is, it's not, but that's all I'll say.
I get Rick Gold. I'm fighting you.
Oh, please, you'll be fine. Anyway, in any case, oh, there we go. In any case, yeah, that was my family's kind of moment of, hey, this isn't accessible anymore. So that was their exposure to the idea that you don't actually own your content. You own the right to rent access to the content for as long as someone else says so. Mine personally, I've referenced a band in this presentation at some point or another. If you don't know which one it is, it's fine. Just wait at the end. In any case, they'd post their music on Bandcamp. The nice bit about Bandcamp, formally at least, was that you could own your music DRM free, which means that you can download it, you can do whatever you want with it, you can buy it, it's yours forever to own. The band in question uses AI to hide their vocals. That's fine because they want to hide their identity. I have no issue with that. No one in the fandom does. Anyway, Bandcamp instituted a policy in which people that use AI for their music were taken off the platform. Now, even though they use it for the vocals only, they write their own lyrics, they do their own stuff, they got hit with it anyway. They appealed, Bandcamp said no, and that's that. They got taken off. The issue afterwards is the fact that people that even bought the music couldn't access it afterwards. So that means that people that paid money for it, people that have bought it for friends and family multiple times over, they lose access. It sucks. I hate it. Buying is and owning, then you know the rest. Distribution. you have your content, it's on your local network, but you want to get it off you want to get it to the open internet more or less. You want to use it when you're out of the house. You want to share with your friends maybe. How do you do that? Reverse proxy connected to an external VPS, in turn connected to a domain name. So reverse proxy, you're going to use Nginx and WireGuard. A reverse proxy basically means if you're on the internet, you can access my servers without me showing you my IP address. So you can get access to it without me doxing myself to you. External VPS, I don't really have a preference on this, just anything cheap and without KYC. And for the domain name, we're going to use Najala. I will explain my reasoning behind all of this in a moment. This is, again, what it's going to look like. You've got your local stuff. You're going to put it over WireGuard to your cloud VPS. From a cloud VPS, you can use Cloudflare to pipe it out to your domain name. Again, you can use Tailscale if you want, or whatever else you want to use. I don't have a preference here. I just picked Cloudflare because there's a nice little legal precedent to the fact that they say that they're a utility company similar to like your water or your power, and so that they're not quite under the same scrutiny to censor in the way that another company might. Again, your mileage may vary. I don't have a preference one way or the other. So you're going to need an email address. Go here, sign up, profit. Yes, it's the funny email address. It's the funny domain. Yeah. You need a separate email address for this because you shouldn't use your personal one because it's just more convenient. Again, I use this one because they don't ask for KYC. You can use whatever email address you want, but yeah. Getting Monero, you're going to pay with crypto. There are very few VPS providers that take an envelope of cash, and I don't want to attach a credit card to this because I, quite frankly, don't feel like doing so. That's my entire reasoning for it. I'm lazy. That's it. I can get my crypto wallet faster than I can get my credit card out. Okay, it's just a matter of preference. Your options for getting it are number one, you can get a job or you can work for it. You can see the QR code. You can barter for it. You can swap fiat for crypto in a variety of ways. There's a QR code that has a bunch of options for doing so. You can mine it. Really wonder if someone here might have done a talk on how to do so. You know, crazy to think about it. Maybe, anyway. And then finally, the fourth option, the North Korean method. You borrow crypto from your friends who works at Coinbase or somewhere, you know. Yeah. Getting a VPS. Again, you're going to go here. You're going to find a VPS provider. The important bit when buying, it doesn't really matter which one you choose. They're all kind of the same. Just buy one with unlimited bandwidth. You do not want to go band for band with a VPS provider. You will lose all the time because streaming video or music or TV shows or what have you gets very expensive very quickly. Hence why you don't want to be paying for that sort of thing. Pay with Monero just because, again, I'm lazy. Also, it simplifies things. Same thing with the domain name. You can pay with Monero. You're going to use the email address you created previously to sign up for this. Choose any domain name. It doesn't really matter. Buy the domain, pay with Monero, call it a day. Here's a guide for the reverse proxy. There's a YouTube video and a text guide. It's pretty well documented, I think. You can figure it out. Same thing with Cloudflare Tunnel. Just read the docs. And then domain name, again, just read the docs. Oh, about Cloudflare, I've made this point twice already, but once more, you can use Tailscale. I'm not telling you to use Cloudflare. You can use self-hosted Tailscale. You can use official. I don't really care. It's just a preference. Again, I don't know what the Chinese characters say. If it's something offensive, sorry, I guess. Conclusion. What will you have when you've gone through all these steps in theory or in Minecraft or in reality or whatever? You'll have your Debian host with all of your Docker services set up in such a way that you can use Jellyfin to view all of your things, which automatically or manually pulls content for you as you so choose. And you can access it when you're out of the house. So when you decide to touch grass once a decade, you can use your phone to stream your media. Some further references / inspirations / bad influences. First and foremost, The Secret Life of Rogue Devices. This was a talk from DEF CON that was a big inspiration for me for the infrastructure section, just because this one dude set up an entire infrastructure for automatically scraping eBay and like other Chinese factory, iPhone assembly factory sites. And he had a thing for scraping them, OCRing the images to find where the companies actually were, and then just automatically sending him an eBay listing so that he could buy them instantly. It's really cool talk. Check it out by all means. Sorry, dry throat. Next up, Shadow Librarian. This is also related, but for a different reason entirely. Guy goes over the importance of libraries and how in this day and age they shouldn't exist somehow, but they do anyway. Like think about it. It's a place where you can go for free to check out stuff for free. You can like check out books, movies, video games, equipment. Even I've seen that happen. You can take it home, use it however you want. It should not exist in the capitalist hellscape we live in, and yet it does. Which is awesome. Make use of it, please. The third one, gadgets for people who don't trust the government. So we're hoping to have this guy come in and talk at some points, but basically it's what the title says. It's about a bunch of cool gadgets you can build at home for relatively inexpensive that do cool stuff. The fourth one is just a general blog article about how to set up a reverse proxy and host stuff from home safely. Just how to do so without doxing yourself. Basically uses the method I use in the talk, except it doesn't use Cloudflare, it just uses the VPS. But yeah. Anna's Archive and MangaDex. These are two shadow libraries, let's call them. They host books and manga, respectively. Piracy is illegal and for nerds, but they also document how they did it. So if you want to steal their work and use it for something completely legal and within the public domain, I'm not going to stop you. I don't know. And finally, the OPSEC Bible. This is basically a little tutorial on how to not get caught doing something that's in a legal gray area. Now, obviously, again, legal disclaimer, don't do illegal stuff. If you do, don't tell me about it because then I'm also culpable. That's just rude. But what's legal today might not be legal tomorrow. What's in the public domain today might be copyright tomorrow. I'm just saying, grab it while you can because you don't know when it's going to be there tomorrow. Like with music, like with movies, like with The Office, like with anything really. If you want to see it tomorrow, grab it now. And if you take nothing else away from this talk, please just go out and buy a 2 terabyte hard drive, make a backup of stuff you consider important to you. Funnily enough, I actually found out the value of backups the hard way. This Tuesday, actually. I got lucky. Fortunately, I was able to recover everything, but it's one of those things where like you experience it once and you're like, okay, never again. So yeah, thanks to the software devs for Debian, Docker, R, all the other software, the many guys for setting everything up. Mulvad, if you're hiring, please, hit your boy up. KMC, I'm not saying that, fuck it. This nice lady on Twitter for the memes, I stole a bunch of them. Ooh, Underground for the music I used for making this. The GT GreyHat Club for hosting and not telling me to kick rocks when I told them, hey, I want to teach kids how to set up their own Netflix. And of course, you for listening. If you want to email me for jobs, questions, copy the slides, whatever, my contact info is up here. Hit me up. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.